we're still on lockdown. We hope everyone's doing okay. We know that this is going to be affecting some of you worse than others, and you know, but we're on our daily exercise, just having a walk, and we're looking forward to improving our exercise at home. So we do have a pull-up bar, and we have the floor. We have water bottles we can fill with water to use as weights. Let's go straight up the hill, I think. But one thing that we're really missing is being able to actually train our finger strength.
Given that we haven't got any access to proper climbing outdoors or indoors at the moment, we've actually decided to invest some money in a fingerboard.
We were going to invest in a fingerboard earlier on, but we decided, since there was one at the gym that we use, that we would just use the gym's fingerboard. Obviously we can't do that now. Got a couple of things that came in the post. Do you want to tell us about the Beastmaker whilst I rip in?
I think it's the most popular hangboard, maybe, at least in the UK. So we got the 1000 version, which is more beginner friendly. The 2000 is advanced. It looks pretty. It should come with the screws. You need to mount it. Yeah, so I chose this one because I'm a little bit familiar with it. So I've not done any proper hangboard training, but I have played around with this at the gym. There's big jugs at the top. There's a really deep pocket in the middle for a one arm thing. And then there's some deep ones that you can do either side with two finger pockets, I guess 3 finger pockets. And then at the bottom, a series of smaller edges. I think this one's the smallest here, which is just less than a whole pad. And the slopers as well, of course, either side at the top. Wood is a good choice because it's not so harsh on your skin, I believe, compared to the kind of plastic ones that you can get. And this is made in the UK, so nice choice for anyone in the UK. Because we didn't want to screw this into our wall, we bought a mounting system. Now, there's not many of these that actually seem to be available, despite the fact that there's definitely a need for it, because I've seen so many videos of how to make your own, and people doing a sort of DIY bodge job, but I didn't want to do that because I'm not very DIY, don't really have any tools, and it's nice to support a small company making something really neat, compact design that you can take up and down and put on any doorway.
In terms of not wanting to mount the thing directly to the wall, this works in a similar way as doorway pull-up bars like we have. And the idea is you don't need to, put any screws in the wall if you're renting property like we are. Okay.
It's like Christmas. So I guess I'm going to have to construct it.
Comes with instructions. Wir haben ein bisschen Deutsch. That might come in useful, but it might not be necessary. It looks like you can do it just from the diagrams. We have the main mounting surface, so you can attach different hangboards to these. We can pop this up here and get some micro edges for the bottom once we're a bit more advanced.
Yeah, and these bits down here are intended for you to be able to put a sling, where if you want to take some weight off.
Yep, so that's when you start to work towards one hand hangs, one hand pull-ups, this kind of thing. Yep. We're not there yet. Building looks quite complicated. So we've had the pull-up bar here for a while, which is good for straightforward arm strength, but we've invested in a board, fingerboard, and mounting system, so we'll replace that. Here's one I made earlier. It's a bit heavier than the pull-up bar. That goes roughly here. And then it's up around the back. There we go, pretty quick to set up, just adjust it to the sides. Alright, let's give it a go. I'll probably start with a couple of pull-ups on the jugs. So let my body hang on that. I think 5 is plenty for me. Starting to feel a bit warmer. Another thing that's good to get ready for this kind of exercise is shoulder shrugs. I probably should have done them before the pull-ups, but so that's where I'll hang and then sort of engage the shoulders, disengage the shoulders, get them a bit warmed up before we do anything a bit more intense. So engage, lower, engage, lower, engage, and so on. And what I think I'll do now is see how many of the different holds I can hold for at least 7 seconds, how many of them I can hold for longer than that, so say 10 or more seconds. So I can decide for myself which holds should I use for repeater sessions, which holds should I use for max hang sessions at body weight. So I've not got a harness on with extra weights, and some of these I won't be able to do actually at body weight. So I'm going to try without chalk, whatever I can do without chalk, and I'll add chalk as I need it. So I know I can hang from these for at least like 20 seconds, but let's do that as a warm-up. Okay, and hopefully there you saw that my shoulders were engaged the whole time. Try the slots next, I think. Just a quick rest. So I'll see if I'm closer to 7 seconds or 10 plus on this one. So this is the deep edge. So I can do at least 10 seconds on those. On the deepest ones, maybe rest a bit more again. 3 fingers.
So I find it uncomfortable here in terms of knowing what to do with my little finger.
Yeah, do you lower it? Do you have it stuck up?
Yeah.
You were asking me about what I do with my thumbs as well. I'll just see what happens naturally. I think up here is what feels right to begin with. Okay, I could do that for 10. So I found that actually my little fingers were starting to touch the next one, so maybe dropping them out of the way is better. I'll have to have a look at how the pros do it. So I know.
So with that one, Sam, your shoulders didn't look very engaged.
Oh, okay.
Compared to the other holds we were
I
doing.
mean, the holds are closer together, so maybe I was a bit more bunched up,
Yeah,
but also I wasn't consciously thinking I need to engage my shoulders, so the technique was probably a bit off. A little bit more of a rest. So yeah, I'm really pleased that we've got this in the house. I'm glad that we can now do a bit more climbing specific training. The mounting system, like the base board, is pretty useful. We couldn't have screwed this directly into any of the walls. We're in rented property, and this is a bit safer, does less damage, so we're pleased with that. And as well, because we've got no tools to do any DIY, it's just the simplest option for us. We can afford to get the mounting board, the Smart Rock mounting board. Their branding is kind of hidden by the jug. Shame for them. But yeah, it works for us. I like the mounting device. It built it fairly simply, fairly quickly, and it's got the holes that we can take this off and replace it with a different Beastmaker or similar without having done any damage to that wooden base. We haven't had to screw anything directly into the wood, so that's good. Trying with the 2 fingers now. I might try the knuckles below this time. So what can I do here? Oh, just managed 10 seconds, but that was a struggle. That felt a lot harder than with the 3 fingers and the 4 fingers to do 10 seconds. So that's obviously a lot closer to my limit than the others. I think that a max hang is supposed to be something that's challenging to do 10 seconds of. I think. is the idea that you do 10 seconds once every 3 minutes, and you just do a few sets with bigger rests. Repeaters, you do lots of 7 seconds on, 3 seconds off. So yeah, so that I think that would be more suited to a max hang exercise for me. And see, now I'm eager to jump back in and try this one now. I want to try that hold. So for this one, I found it harder to do that kind of drag position, the open hand position, and I half crimped it before. Before we got the camera out, I hadn't checked to see how long I can hold this for, whether it's closer to 7 or 10 plus. I just wanted to see if I could hang from it, and I could hang from it, but I don't think I hung for more than 5 seconds at the time, but I didn't try to, so that's what we're going to do now. That's about 3 seconds. I'm going to try that with chalk because I do feel a little bit like I'm slipping. Okay. About 6. That's hard. But yeah, I don't think I should try another one. There are still smaller edges at the top in comparison, but yeah, this is the shallowest holds I've managed to hang from at body weight so far. But yeah, might try the slopers next. So the slopers are harder to grip onto. These are a bit easier, they're not as steep. These are pretty hard, so I'm going to re-chalk and see if I can hang from the slopers. So easier ones first. So 3, 2, 1, and lifting it off. Okay, so I can do that for 10 seconds plus. I think I was kind of spilling over to the side because it's a limited size. Maybe this is intended for a one-hand hang. I don't think I'm there yet. So the next thing to try is the steeper slopers. I'm not going to be able to hang off any of the smaller edges. I'm not going to be able to hang off the 3-fingered version of this because I was really struggling with the 4 fingers, so I'm not going to try that. Oh good. I haven't got COVID, I'm inhaling chalk, promise. I hope. Right, so I've got plenty of chalk on here for hanging from here. Maybe I should rest just a little bit longer. Right, I think I'm ready. Okay. So, get in position. About 2.5 seconds there. Try again with a bit more chalk. So I can hang from this at the gym, or at least I could before we stopped going, before the lockdown. On their one, I can hang from that for I think at least 5 seconds, maybe for a full sort of 7 or 6 or 7 or 10. I'm not sure. I'll have to get the Hoover out, I suppose, after this. I'm so used to clapping the chalk off, we're going to get it all over the house.
Something that I'd noticed that you're doing that was mentioned in a video I watched recently about hangboarding from my pal Dave.
McLeod.
Definitely not my pal. Is that he said a common beginner mistake is to stand a little bit too far back from the hangboard so you swing slightly when you come to it. And I just noticed you did that slightly then, so maybe think about positioning your body directly below.
I'm engaging my shoulders, ready to lift, putting more and more weight on my hands and less on my feet, and then I've lifted. Trying to keep steady, stay engaged in the shoulder and the back. My arms are starting to ache. I can't remember, I've not counted how long I've done this for, but maybe I'll do a max hang now, since I'm already in this position. And you haven't had that many shots of my face looking very worn out. Could probably hang for a bit longer, but I feel like I want to stop. There we go. So that's how your body should look, or at least how a beginner thinks your body should look when you're hangboarding. Go to proper experts before you come to us for advice, because we're learning this as we go. We've already been climbing for over a year, but we've been climbing long enough that hangboard training isn't going to be dangerous for us. It's so that we can keep and maintain our strength that we had from regular climbing, but also hopefully build a bit of forearm strength, finger strength, during the lockdown, whilst we can't be working on our actual climbing technique in the same way through actual climbing. So yeah, don't rush into this. If you're not ready for it, just look forward to it. There's plenty more that you can do to practice your climbing and get better for climbing from home without needing a hangboard. We're doing yoga every day with Yoga for Adrian. Easy to find on YouTube, very popular. We're also doing sort of upper body, whole body exercises that you don't need any equipment for, just like body weight exercises. And there's plenty you can do, like wrist curls, all this sort of stuff. Push-ups are good, especially for the antagonists. So we're focusing now on flexibility, something that we didn't really focus on when we were climbing regularly, and on developing those antagonistic muscles, those opposites, the pushing muscles that we didn't use as much for climbing, to try and even out our bodies. My wrist flexibility is terrible, and I'm trying to improve that because I developed really tight forearms from climbing a lot and never exercising anything else. Those are opportunities open to you as well. 5 stars. I'm really glad that we've got this. I'm gonna enjoy getting some gains. We've been able to work actual climbing specific muscles. Gonna be good. Yeah, something to fill our empty calendars with. This is what we got going on this month.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Drop us a comment if you have any suggestions for beginner hangboarding workouts. That would be much appreciated. And let us know what you've done to optimise your home climbing routine.
Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.